Hello, I'm Dr. David Hawkins from the Marriage Recovery Center and the Emotional Abuse Institute. I want to talk to you about a problem that I've called mutualizing. Making all problems equal, making it a two-way street. And when it comes to emotional abuse and narcissistic abuse, that's incredibly dangerous and incredibly damaging. All right, before I continue, click that subscribe button. Share this video with others that need to hear about this. The problem of mutualizing. Let me lay out the problem for you. I want you to imagine that you are a bystander in the emergency room at a hospital. And in one bay, there is someone with a sliver under their finger. And they're really in pain. They can't get the sliver out. They need help. In another bay, there's someone with a broken arm. I mean, their arm is throbbing. And in another bay, there's an individual who's just had a cardiac arrest, and their life is in danger. Now, the person with the sliver under their finger is in legitimate pain, right? And they're clamoring for attention. And the person with a broken arm is certainly clamoring for attention. Their arm is throbbing. They're in pain. So all of them are in pain, right? But someone very wise, the emergency room doctor, the emergency room nurse, they do something called triage. And triage means that they assess all situations for the urgency and the appropriate need for treatment. Well, we would certainly confront someone in the first bay who has a sliver under their finger and they're screaming for attention. We would make it very clear to them, look, all problems are not created equal. There is an appropriate order for treatment. And someone has got to assess that, and we need to trust the people in charge to make those kind of decisions. Well, what I've noticed, and I'm really, really concerned about this, I've noticed that when it comes to narcissistic and emotional abuse, there's often an effort on the part of the emotional abuser to make all problems equal. Well, you do that too. Well, you do that too. Well, it takes two to tango. We have a marriage problem. We don't have a me problem. And someone has wisely said, oh, no. The victim of abuse says, wait a minute, there's an order to things. No, we don't just have a communication problem. We have an emotional abuse problem, and that creates communication problems. That creates marriage problems. So no, it's not appropriate for us to step back and just say, let's read a good book on communication. Let's go to a good communications expert. Not appropriate. Not appropriate. All right, so there are three important truths for us to understand when it comes to mutualizing. Again, click subscribe, would you, and share this video with others that need to hear it. The problem of mutualizing. Number one, there is a need for an expert to triage. And again, what does that mean? It comes out of the medical profession. This expert, when it comes to emotional abuse, that might be myself, might be one of our treatment team at the Marriage Recovery Center. We do something called triage, essentially. In other words, we assess the urgency of the situation and what the appropriate order is for treatment. And I'm often confronted about this. Dr. Hawkins, wait a minute, all problems are equal. They're not. Well, it takes two to tango. No, it doesn't. It's a two-way street, baby. No, it's not. No, it's not. So we conduct triage. We think this through. And I often will say to this couple, no, I'm going to do triage. I'm going to consider what the urgency is of the situation and the order for treatment. And someone's got to do that. Someone must do that. And when they do it, and when they do it, in my opinion, correctly, they will appropriately say, wait a minute, the abuse, the emotional abuse has got to be addressed. His patterns of powering over, controlling, dominating, crazy making, all of that stuff that comprises emotional abuse, that has got to be eliminated before effective couples counseling can take place. So number one, there's a need for triage. Number two, you who are tempted to mutualize, make it a two-way street, please, please step back and trust that you will receive care. Your issues will be addressed in time. But there is an order to the way this treatment needs to take place. And the emotional abuse must stop first. It must. And you've got to come to an acceptance of that. And in time, her issues with whatever they might be, you will have a voice for that. And you've got to trust that you'll have a voice. Number three, I want you to facilitate more urgent issues that need to be addressed in the marriage. I want you to facilitate that. I want you to step back, wait your turn. Yeah, we learned that in kindergarten, didn't we? Step back and wait your turn, trusting that someone knows the order that issues need to be addressed. So step back, wait your turn, and facilitate more pressing issues to take place. What does that look like? That looks like you, the emotional abuser. I know those are strong words. You will deal with your emotional abuse. You will understand that that must be eliminated before any kind of marriage counseling can take place. So you get that, you accept that, and then you trust that in time, you will be given more of a voice into what the relationship looks like. All right, again, what are the three main points here? Number one, there's a need for triage, for someone, an expert, to understand how issues are going to be addressed. What is their state of urgency? What is the appropriate treatment? Number two, you will step back and you will trust that your needs will be met in time, but you're going to trust that this order is the appropriate order. And number three, you're going to facilitate more urgent issues to be addressed, and you're going to wait your turn. You're going to cooperate. You're going to collaborate with the treatment professional so that we eliminate the emotional abuse, and then in time, couples counseling can take place, and in time, it will become a two-way street. I hope that's been helpful to you. Again, click subscribe, and if you would like expert help, please consider reaching out to us. We've got a client care team, trained professionals ready to talk to you. They're ready to take your questions right now. All right, take care, and as always, God bless.